Hello, hi, welcome. I'm really glad you're here. I want to pop my gums about some of the things that I've learned in life about relationships. This is specifically for romantic. These are specifically things that I didn't know and I wish I knew and I learned along the way. So I'm sharing them with whoever wants to listen. For all my people who are going into dating and they don't know, or maybe they don't really have big siblings, maybe you know the good things, and there's always good things in relationships, mostly. But you're starting to see some things and you're wondering, this is for you. Some of the things that I'm going to say may piss somebody off. I'm not really here to talk about the light and fluffy. Look for the great things. Also, look for some of the negative things. Be aware, know what to look for. And it's like, how are you looking out for certain things if you don't even know what you're looking out for? So, first and foremost, skincare is the biggest thing. I don't like foundation. I'll do a skin tint. When I do use a skin tint, this looks crazy. A stretch skin tint, you'll see that the label's missing. I took it off with nail polish remover because it comes off in little flakes. So that stops a little flake. First and foremost, it should be fun. It should be fun. It should be sweet. Things should be light. When I use a primer, I use this one. Yes. There will be moments when things aren't so lovely and so sweet. People will tell you who they are by how they speak about others. A lot of times. It's not always in the day-to-day, but sometimes it is. So when you're constantly hearing some of the same complaints time and time again, my mirror's over there, they may also be talking about themselves. Yes, those other people may have done those things, but they may be talking about themselves. If they're coming up with some wild hypotheticals, they might be talking about themselves. If they don't believe that your good is real, don't try to convince them. It's not your job. It's been the noble thing to do, like, oh, I'll show you different. I did it. I'll show you that not everybody is the way that you're describing them. I'll show you that good exists, that people can be real, that kindness is out there. I'm obsessed with say. I love say. Someone not believing the good things may not be just because they got hurt in the past. And even if it is, that's got nothing to do with you. And trying to convince them that good people exist, that good things exist, that you're genuine, that's not your job. I know how it sounds, but as a recovering people pleaser, it's not your job. People have to tend to their own wounds, and you can support, but there's a difference between supporting and carrying. And if you're running into the issue because they haven't figured it out themselves, if you're running into this issue and you're the one asking them to address a behavior or a harmful belief, something that's now a hindrance to y'all, they haven't dealt with it. So yeah, it may also be that they're doing some really funky stuff. Sometimes people don't believe, and this is going to be, sometimes with really manipulative people, they don't believe that good things are real because a lot of what they are, their personality is curated. They're fake. A lot of things are for show. Like this one. If they accuse you often and it's something that's not even like similar to your character, don't sit there and spend time trying to convince them. That might be because it's something that they're doing. You should be able to have your own activities and your own friends. And it doesn't mean that y'all can't invite each other into each other's worlds, but you should be able to have your own things. You shouldn't have to go along with every single thing that they decide to do, every single new hobby, every single new interest. You shouldn't then be pressured to like it, to have the same amount of interest. Like, you gotta be your own person. I usually like to do my highlight first, but I didn't do it. And that's okay. What's next? Transparency. Transparency is just as important, if not more important than honesty. Transparency versus honesty. Honesty is you can ask a question and you'll get the truth. Transparency is, hey, I know something that may affect you. I have this information, I have something, or I saw, or I know something that may be harmful or may be of interest to you. For whatever reason, I'm going to bring it to the table. I'm going to bring it to the conversation. You're not going to have to dig for it. And you'll get the whole truth. The little things are everything. And it doesn't mean, that's everything. It just means that is everything. And the girls who get it. But for the ones who don't, it's the little day to day. The little things are really who a person is. The little things, it's really who we are. It's how we show up on a daily basis. Those are the little things, those are the huge things. Those are the things that shape a lot of life, that shape your day to day, how you interact with each other, how you look out for one another. The little things are setting a glass of water on Bayside so when they come in, they have something to drink and they don't have to get up and go and do it. It's leaving a little light on for somebody so that they don't have to fumble around in the dark and fret waking you up when they turn on the light so that they can see. Or if it's not doing that. Speaking of which, consideration is a very high form of love, and it doesn't have to require a lot of effort. Consideration and acting on the consideration. It's just you thought about the person, you thought about yourself, obviously, but you made a decision based off of the consideration of everything, of both parties, of all the parties, whatever it is. Don't give them the blueprint. It's not about a game. Meet a person. Allow them to show up exactly as who they are and how they are. Some people will ask you what you want and this, that, and the third. And there's a difference between going into something saying, hey, I'm looking for a long-term relationship. I'm looking to build this, that, and the third. I'm looking for whatever the kind of relationship it is that you want. When I say don't give them a blueprint, let them show up naturally. Let them show up for you naturally. Just let it all come out. That's what I think. None of what I'm saying is law. Let it all come out. See if you like it or if you don't. This doesn't mean never speak up for yourself. I'm using my Wet n Wild. You've got your Sephora and your Walgreens, okay? But one thing that I've noticed is a lot of times people will say, they knew all of the right things to do and the right things to say to get me. You gave them the right things to say. And they use that to get you, but it's not really what they wanted to do. They wanted to do what they had to do to get you. Some people, this will not be everybody. Everybody's not like this. Everybody's not like this. I just don't believe so. Let them show up how they are. Decide whether or not you like it. Decide whether or not it's something that you'd like to continue with and to build with. A lot of times people don't know how foul a person is until later on. So give it some time and let things flow naturally. That's what I'm saying. Make sure that they respect your answers, respect your yeses and your nos. If they ask you something, they ask you a question, and then they continue to ask questions about your answer. And they're asking hypotheticals on how they could get to the answer that maybe it seems like it's more desirable for them. It's the opposite of what you said. It's what you said that you don't want. And they're trying to get you to come up with an answer or a way to get what you said you don't want. They don't respect your answer. They won't tell you that they disagree, but they don't actually want that. Some people are tricky that way, and unfortunately I had to learn that the hard way. It's one thing to want to have an understanding. There's a difference between having an understanding of where you're coming from and trying to persuade you. And if they continue to ask that same question in different ways, or even in the same way over just throughout time, they don't respect your answer. They don't. And they may be pleasant about it. They may be pleasant in tone. Some people are manipulative that way, and that's exactly what they're doing. This isn't everyone. All of these things are not going to be everyone. I'm just going to keep throwing that in there from time to time. Conversations are not attacks. Attacks are attacks. And if you're in a conversation and you're feeling like you're being attacked, you might not be ready for the conversation. or if they're feeling like they're being attacked, they may not be ready for the conversation. So if you give it 5 or 10 and you come back and you still can't have the conversation, and the 5 or 10, maybe that's a day. Maybe something's going on. You have to figure that out for you. They may not be ready for the convo, and I don't just mean let's talk about it later. You catch my drift? You might be talking to the wrong person, is what I'm saying. Just because somebody is with you doesn't mean that they like you. Just because somebody is with you, they're next to you, they're cheering you on, they're showing up sometimes, or they have shown up in the past, it doesn't mean that they actually like you. Sometimes people show up publicly. I've had this happen. They'll show up publicly and it looks good. It looks like y'all are great as a couple. You're a supportive partner out loud to other people. And then on the inside, when you're at home, it's a very different story. Yeah. And there's a difference between somebody not being able to do certain things at certain times versus somebody just choosing not to show up for you. Some people may be attracted to the way that you shine and not actually like the fact that you do. They may be attracted, they may be drawn into it, they may be attracted to your warmth. The warmth might feel good, but then the warmth reminds them of just how cold they are. Your light may be bright and they love the way it feels and they love the way it looks, and it might be that light shines a light on their darkness. Just because they like it doesn't mean that they appreciate it. Just because they are attracted to it doesn't mean that they know how to receive it, know how to be there for it, know how to continue to pour into it, know how to aid in growing it, or knowing how to freaking foster an environment so that it can continue. If they don't have it themselves,
they don't know how to get or keep it.
It doesn't automatically mean that they're a bad person. They just might not be equipped to receive it. They may not understand it. They may not understand what it took to get there. They may not really appreciate it. They may like it. They may even feel entitled to it, but not appreciate it. And they just might drag you to hell. They just might drag you to hell. Speaking of which, another one. If your reaction to the disrespect, if your reaction to however you were mistreated becomes the issue, run. Run. No, I'm serious, run. That could be reactive abuse, depending on what's going on. That's not good. Abuse was going down, and it wasn't about the fact that I was being mentally and emotionally abused. It was about the fact that I responded poorly to it. How else are you supposed to respond? And it's just crazy to me because it seems like some of the nastiest people on the planet, you're supposed to just take this. Didn't you know? Didn't you know that you were supposed to be fine with this? How dare you not be fine with it? How dare you have a reaction to it? This is beneath me. That's what it gave. Can we just get into the cute little lip on this? This is a high shine lipstick from Wet n Wild. It's just like the cutest little shade of pink. If you can't ask questions for further understanding, run. If they're making you question your reality, run. And by that I mean they tell you something that you did, but you know that you didn't do it. And it's not that you forgot. It's just that you know you didn't do it, but they're adamant about it, run. If they're telling you that you said something that you know for a fact that you didn't say, and it's not even like you, it's not a misunderstanding. That's intentional and you need to leave. Or it also may be mental illness and you should still leave because that's dangerous for you. And it's not a slight to people who have certain illnesses. It's not. It's just, now you're messing with somebody's mind, and that's not cool. You should have standards. You can sustainably give what you are asking for, what you are requiring. Your standards are not too high. Some people may have an issue with the things that you're asking for. Some people may have an issue with the way that you show up because it requires them to then sort of step up, and they can't, and they'll try to make you feel funny for it. I think It's time to go. I think so. Because what's going to happen then is you're going to be overextending or going without while they're trying to overextend, or maybe they aren't. Maybe they're just trying to break you down so that you come down to this, whatever it is. Something that's a little bit more comfortable for them instead of them rising to the occasion. You know what? Some people just don't match. Some people just don't match. It's not necessarily a slight to who you are. It doesn't necessarily mean that, oh, well, because you can't reach these standards, that you're a terrible trash piece of person. No, it's just that you don't match. You don't match. And that's it. It doesn't have to be this horrible thing. And I think that not meeting standards, not being able to meet standards, it's become a shameful thing because of the way that people speak about it. And I don't think that it has to be. Yeah. Into the next one, you may not be asking for too much. You may be asking the wrong individual. Something that makes sense. If it's not something that's freaking just bonkers, bananas, you may be asking the wrong person. Stop asking them. They're going to end up feeling bad about themselves and they're going to take it out on you. Likely. Instead of being honest with themselves and saying, hey, yeah, I can't give you this. If they stick around, if they are not honest with themselves and they don't acknowledge, hey, I can't give you what you're asking for. I can't supply what it is you need. I don't have the capacity for it. I don't have the wherewithal. I don't have the tools for it. They're likely to end up feeling bad about themselves. They're likely to, in a sick and twisted way, then think, oh, you think you're better than, because they feel badly about themselves. But they won't just leave. And I say just leave. It's not easy to leave when you care about somebody. And then for some people, when you're pride, now that's a pride thing. That's an ego thing. On the other hand, me, instead of it clicking like, hey, no, you can't give me what I want. I have to keep asking you for this thing. I'm asking you for something that's not natural. I'm asking you for something that just was not modeled in your life from what you're telling me. And then on top of that, you didn't go out to figure it out. I should leave because I'm going without what I want. I'm going without what I deserve. And now I'm starting to feel like I'm too much, even though it's something that I can give on a regular Tuesday in high heels, carrying freaking 60 pounds worth of groceries. It's just not gonna work. It's not gonna work. In the rain, it's not gonna work. These are a little heavy. There's a difference between personality and bad habits. There's a difference between this is who I am versus this is my horrible habit, or this is my harmful habit that is distressing and it's wreaking havoc and it's causing a disturbance in the atmosphere. It's causing a disturbance to the people that I love. There's a difference, and you don't have to stick around. You don't have to coach them through that. They told you that this is what they're gonna do. Love is supporting. Love does not distract, deter, or detract from where you're trying to go. It doesn't distract, deter, or detract from the goals that you have, the work that you're putting in. If you're finding yourself now putting less and less time in, or having less and less time and less energy, if it's heavy, if they're pulling you away from it, if they are not stepping up, so now it's like if you don't do it, it doesn't get done, there's an issue there. There's more than one way to support. Support is also helping you to get there, doing their part so that you don't have to take on theirs. If you have to ask for empathy, if you have to ask for basic respect, you're asking for the wrong thing and you're asking the wrong person. Those are not things that you should ever have to ask for. Bringing something to somebody's awareness is one thing, but be mindful of how often you're doing that and for what you're talking about. You don't have to struggle or suffer for love. Love doesn't require that. It's in this thing in movies for as long as I can remember where there's like this guy, and this doesn't even have to be specific for genders. There's like this guy, and he's troubled, and he's got this going on, he's got that going on, and he's not emotionally available, and this, that, and the third. And this girl, she has a good heart. She's a sweetie in the neighborhood. He's like kind of roughneck, and I don't know. She's just going through so much behind him. They're just going through so much, and they're fighting over stupid stuff. Like if it's looking like freaking the love story in Baby Boy. If it's looking like struggle love, you don't have to do that. You're not actually doing anybody any favors. It doesn't have to be like that. You can go out and have a love that doesn't have all of those really horrible things. Cheating, horrible communication, a lack of emotional availability, a lack of freaking emotional intelligence, them not having enough of their stuff together to function, because different things are going to happen at different times. Substance abuse, fighting over dumb stuff like baby this drama, ex drama, all these other things. You don't actually have to go through that, and that's not really something somebody told me, and I wish I knew that. I wish I knew that. Yeah, leave that alone. Go find you something peaceful. Go find you something peaceful and be something peaceful. And if you don't have that peaceful, then leave people alone until you get your peace and then go. Because don't bring disturbance to somebody else because you don't have any. Now you're using somebody to get peace. And that's a conversation I just don't really feel like a lot of people are ready to have. Potential is really cute. Potential is... Oh, you thought stuff was sweet? Potential is cute. Potential is, it's like receiving a bouquet of flowers, and it's a beautiful thing in the moment. And it's bright, and it's sunny, and it feels great. And it dies. Potential is not something that's sustainable. Forget the flower, get you a tree. The tree is the work. The tree is the ethic. The tree is what they're doing on a regular basis. It's not what, oh, Kimi, I see that you can do this. I see that you can do this, that you can. It's what's actually going on. That tree roots. It's got roots up underneath. And you can see the leaves, and maybe the leaves are the fruit of the labor. And yes, the leaves will die, but then they come back. And it's just like the seasons of life, I guess, Anything can happen. Boom, you can rebuild. Get you a tree, forget about the bouquet. Like, you can accept a bouquet, but don't build on a bouquet, build on a tree. People don't build flower houses. They build tree houses, and it's very much for a reason. And a flower house is a house that you build that encapsulates the flowers. Do you see where I'm going? Okay. Constant chaos, deflection, and accusations are a no. Oftentimes that's going to be them trying to distract you from something that's going on and you can't see it. And how would you verify it? How will they know? They'll never know. And there you have it. These are things that I've learned. None of what I said is Lola. These are things that I have learned from experience, from lived experience. Everybody isn't going to be this horrific person. Everybody isn't going to be this dark person who tries to pull the wool over your eyes to extract, to take from you. That's just not going to be the case for everybody. I think that if you go through life looking specifically for a negative, you're going to find it. And your mind is going to try to create things to mirror the negativity. Create a way for it to be negative even if it isn't. If you go through life with optimism, again, this is what I think, and you know what to look out for alongside your optimism, not just going in blindly and thinking that everything is sunshine all of the time. I just feel like it's a way for the optimism to sustain, because then you won't continue to go into situations where they're just horrible for you. So yeah, there you go. Here's my makeup. I mean, not really a lot, just a little something.
just want to acknowledge the chin decrease that's taking place. Hold it under smoothly.
So yeah, that's 27-ish things that I have learned about romantic relationships in this lifetime, and I wanted to share, and I hope that it was helpful. Yeah. Thank you so much for stopping by. Like and subscribe if the spirit moves you. I hope that, why did I just dap myself up? Because I'm a real one. Wait, one more. Everything that I said, it applies to you too. Nothing can be one-sided. Yeah. Like and subscribe if the spirit moves you. Be well.